to know that there are some options. Even if we're disagreeing, we don't communicate effectively. We can seek help. We can seek counseling. We can talk to some friends. We can watch some freaking damn
It's depressing.
YouTube videos, right? And he hasn't tried anything. He just came and said, I think we need separation. And you're probably saying, but can we just do therapy? Imagine how frustrating that is. Now, I know a lot of men, when you ask them for, because I went through that myself, you ask them for therapy or something like that,
they say no.
They just don't see why. You know, like I don't need therapy.
It's the ego speaking.
It happens a lot.
It does.
And it happens to people that you think they are smart, you know, like
it has nothing to do with the smartness.
And that's the point. I found that it has nothing to do with smartness. It has a lot to do with they can't see that their marriage is about to be over.
They don't know that might be the last straw.
All right. Husband wants separation without trying anything.
There you go.
Yeah. It wants separation without trying anything. So I'm going to read it. I think it's a comment. So okay. I want to try and work through these issues with him, but he keeps telling me that we should just split up. It's been a tough adjustment, to be honest, and I really need some advice on what to do next. My husband wants a separation, but not divorce. So he doesn't want divorce yet. Not yet.
He wants a break.
He thinks about the kids always when he's talking like this, and I think that's what makes it so hard. I know he still loves me, but after all these years together, his feelings for me have faded away. The kids are getting older, and they want their parents to get back together. It hurts me knowing that my husband wants a separation, but not divorce. What's your take on this, baby?
Well, as like we said, it's always sad when these situations come up. But it looks like he wants a break. Why does he want a break from her? I don't know.
We don't know.
But what I can say to this young lady...
So I guess a big part of it is that he hasn't tried anything.
He's probably in the victim space.
No counseling, nothing.
He probably think she did him wrong, and she's always at fault, and he doesn't think he's the problem. In this situation, as hard as it is, you just have to let him go. You have to, if you want a separation, you have to, because if you don't let him go, that will even tick him off.
Now he wants to go more.
And now he wants to go. He might even go and push for divorce. I mean, my thing is, there's no point crying over spilt milk.
Jesus Christ.
I know it's tough and it's harsh. No, it is hard. But that's what you need to do right now. Just let him go. Let him take that space. We don't know what he's up to. Maybe he just wants a break. Maybe he's feeling suffocated. Right. It might not even be about her. It can be like, some people, they have what they call midlife crisis. Like, oh shit, I'm losing it. I need my space. Let him go and keep doing you. And hopefully you guys will come back together.
Right.
Because I don't know. I mean...
So it's a little frustrating.
Story is not telling us a lot.
I can only imagine, it's not telling us much.
Right.
So I'll just go with what we know, right? I can only imagine how frustrating that must feel when you know that we could try a few things.
And they said no.
Well, I asked a gentleman today, I said, listen, because it was basically simping hard for the ladies. It was being a Derek Jackson. He was saying... He lives in the Scandinavians and the Denmark, Norway area. And he's, it's like in that area, freedom, blah, 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 everybody just fuck each other on the street. No, I'm just kidding.
What? Excuse me?
But basically, it's a life of freedom, right? Where people don't have to marry. It's, people can have children. It's 50-50 automatically for anything when you have. Things like that. And, the gentlemen don't like hearing that because, we need structure,
We all do.
Have a family, all that, duty, marriage, all that kind of shit, So, now, this person here, the husband wants to So I asked him, back to the story, I asked him, I said, if you're, because I wanted to test his pulse to see where his mind is at. I said, if you have a daughter, 27 years old, she's married, right? Because it was like, if somebody wants to leave, let them leave. He was doing a lot of that, right?
But is he married?
No, it's not married.
Okay.
It doesn't sound like he was married. But anyway.
That answered my question.
But it was like, so I now asked, I said, if you have a daughter, who's, and she got married like 3 months ago, and she came home and said, Dad,
I'm done.
I think I'm done. What was the excuse I gave him?
He
yelled at me. I said, the daughter said, yelled at me. When first of all, I will listen to my daughter and tell her to do whatever she wants. I'm like, whoa! Everybody did whoa.
Exactly. Yeah, right. It's easier said.
So why did I bring this up? You can imagine how frustrating it is for you to know that there are some options. Even if we're disagreeing, we don't communicate effectively. We can seek help. We can seek counseling. We can talk to some friends. We can watch some freaking damn YouTube videos, right? And he hasn't tried anything. He just came and said, I think we need separation. And you're probably saying, but can we just do therapy? Imagine how frustrating that is. Now, I know a lot of men, when you ask them for, because I went through that myself, you ask them for therapy or something like that.
They say no.
They just don't see why. Like I don't need therapy.
It's the ego speaking.
It happens a lot.
It does.
And it happens to people that you think they are smart, like.
It has nothing to do with the smartness.
And that's the point. I found that it has nothing to do with smart. It has a lot to do with they can't see that their marriage is about to be over.
They don't know that might be the last straw.
Yes.
That the woman is trying.
Yes.
So hold on. And he said no.
They don't see that, Because even another gentleman now say, I don't think everything is therapy. It's like, well, you missed the point. It's not about therapy. It could be counseling. It's some sort of seeking other people's.
Well, he's pushing back against therapy, huh?
Right. It was a pushback. I'm like, well, we don't offer therapy here because we're not licensed to do therapy. We counsel, we coach, right? And when I used the language that I didn't mean licensed clinical therapy. That's not what I meant. What I meant is that there are options. If you feel confused, if your girl comes to you, your baby girl, and he yelled at me, of course you should listen to her. She may want to cry and she'll say, have you considered therapy? Have you considered counseling? That should be, it's not like, oh, you could do whatever you want. You're free to do it.
Come on, man. That makes no sense.
So this, when you say that, it tells us where the society have gone in terms of valuing the family structure. That's really the point I'm making there. So you can see how frustrating it is for a wife to feel like she wants to a family together because of the children. Some people are very quick to say don't stay for the children too. It's not like that's not true on the surface value. But if that's the quickest thing that comes out of your mouth, there is a problem. Because somebody is going and said, they're looking at the clock that one day you're gonna do some bullshit, I'll be out. I don't care if I have children or not. But there's a problem with that because you're raising children. And they're watching every move, how you quit, how fast you quit, and all this different, and your behaviors and all this. They're looking at everything holistically, right? And you may say the argument is like, oh yeah, but it's not good to raise children. But you're right. You're absolutely right. In fact, the point I'm making is to make sure you look at everything, right? But there's something that we gravitate. There's a certain type of comment we're very fast to gravitate towards as individuals, right? My first thing I say out of my mouth when you say I'm married, I have children, the first thing I say is that don't stay because of children. That's not the first thing I say, right? If that's the first thing you say, like, well, it's not good to stay in a marriage.
Well, people will say that they tend to not be married or they are divorced or
they have
going through
certain type of experience, and that's grace. Good point, baby. That we should give, right? When people go through certain experience, they tend to.
They'll project it.
But we're pointing that out that is becoming problematic, right? We should always approach it from a standpoint of, have you seeked help? I'm here to support you. Absolutely. You can cry on my shoulders. Anything, unless we're talking about physical violence. Some people have pushed back against me and say, what about emotional abuse? And I'm like, bro, if you're getting to marriage, you're going to be emotionally abused at some point. verbally abuse is going to happen before you guys figure it out.
Mm.
I'm not justifying it. I'm not giving it a pass. I'm just telling you it's going to happen. If that's going to be your first cue to exit the marriage, it's probably best that you don't go into a marriage or any type of relationship with human beings. Even at work, they're going to run their mouth and verbally abuse you sometimes. And you will have to push back and say, no, I don't tolerate that. But it will happen, is the point. The part we don't tolerate is anything that...
You will get tested.
Right. Anything that makes you feel threatened physically. However, you don't have to be touched yet. But if you feel threatened physically, instantly remove yourself.
Well, I would also add that if you feel threatened mentally, because mental health is a big
What do you mean mentally? Explain that. Break that down.
If someone is consistently putting you down, like in your face, putting you down, there's some people that they're not happy people. There are people that they're called sadists. They just want to break you down and make you cry all the time.
So when you say make you cry,
that type of person, then you have to see how you can, get help for both of you. But if they're not willing to work with you, I don't know how much that's gonna last.
No, if you say make you cry,
not just make you cry like that, like tear you down, like when you come into this house, the first thing. I just bring you down all the time.
They're just always sad.
All the time.
I get that.
I'm not a happy person. And I'm always a victim. And I'm projecting my insecurities on you all the time. You're only human. You will break down at some point.
No, I get that. I get that completely, and I'm trying to be careful. I think what I'm trying to say is that when people hear that, right, how they interpret it is different from the reality of what it's supposed to be. I agree 100% with you. Like if you feel like your mind is not about
mental state of mind.
Your mental state of mind is at stake. Definitely seek some help, right? But what some people define as mental state of health is that they actually try to manipulate you first, and you said no, don't do that. To them, that's mental. I need to spell that out because it's very vague. Do you understand what I'm saying? It is very vague. You put my phone here, I feel like you're mentally abusing me.
No,
believe it or not, there are people, because I haven't touched you, and you can claim that, and you have the right to claim that, right?
Some people are childish.
You have the right to claim that anything that hasn't touched you, but it doesn't feel right. Happiness.
Well, look at yourself in the mirror and speak the truth to yourself. Are you being real?
No,
or
they don't
are
have
you
to do
being
that.
childish?
You don't have to do that.
No, you have to have words with yourself sometimes.
No, of course.
Keep it real with yourself.
But they don't have to do that. They just have to listen to what I have to say right now.
They should not keep it real with them.
Let's be clear that what we call mental abuse and emotional abuse, verbal abuse is not even that vague. But mental abuse can be vague. It depends on the health, the existing mental health of the person we're talking about. It depends on so many other things. Okay. Now, with that being said, I agree 100% with her. If you feel like your mental health is at stake, take some space and seek help. But you need to be aware that anything can be interpreted, not even by you, but no, not on this video. Anything can be interpreted by other people, even when you're just being nice, as you mentally abuse them. A white person can pass by and say, "You're black, I'm mentally abused." They can do that. You know that, right? You know about the Karens? They can do that. They absolutely can do that. But like I said, it's a function of the mental state of the people that's accusing you as well. What have they gone through? I agree 100%. Some people have gone through some stuff. But let's spell out the vague part about that, that is not always cut. But people call people narcissists right now just because
that's a popular word.
Just because you argued a little bit, you're a narcissist.
Everybody's a narcissist these days.
And we're talking about marriage. So there's a lot at stake. There are children at stake. A lot, right?
Right.
Yeah. Sorry, babe. Tell your story.
I can. Okay, so the story I wanted to share is when I was growing up in Nigeria, there was a auntie that used to live not too far away from us. Very hardworking lady. I guess her husband has a job too, but I don't know what their finances are like. But anytime she comes back from work, it literally checks our purse. I tell her to take her panties off so that it can check if anyone had sex with her. Well, come on, man. Well, if you had a man like that.
Look at the example you just brought out. That's an extreme situation.
And that auntie actually stayed in that marriage for years. Until one day, she's no more with us.
The woman?
Yes.
Oh no.
She passed.
That's crazy. From what? Who knows?
They said it was domestic violence. So,
oh no. Yeah.
And it was very sad. It was very beautiful.
Like that's extreme. Obviously, that's it. That's why I didn't want to just dismiss that there is such a thing that you probably should avoid. But I also needed to spell out how vague it can be. Like, people are not putting in work. They're just not.
Yeah, but some people are really crazy. So
I may be generalizing, but I needed to do that so you can look at yourself in the mirror and say, is that me? Am I generalizing? And if you feel like you're having anxiety, panic attacks, and stuff like that, then absolutely you must at least give yourself some space and seek help.
Yep.
You don't have to wait for that far. As long as you start to notice that I don't think I can handle this, but I want you to also build yourself, build a stronger self, because if you don't, anything is going to shake you off.